I want to thank Secretary Hegseth and General Kane, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and so many others in this room who together represent the greatest and most elite fighting force in the history of the world, the United States military. There could be no higher honor than to serve as your Commander-in-Chief. To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country that we've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior leadership of what is once again known around the world as the Department of War. As Secretary Hegseth beautifully described, the name change reflects far more than the shift in branding. It's really a historic reassertion of our purpose and our identity and our pride. Together we're reawakening the warrior spirit, and this is a spirit that won and built this nation, and from the cavalry that tamed the Great Plains to the ferocious, unyielding power of Patton Bradley and the great General Douglas MacArthur. In this effort, we're a team, and so my message to you is very simple. I am with you, I support you, and as President, I have your backs 100%. Together over the next few years, we're going to make our military stronger, tougher, faster, fiercer, and more powerful than it has ever been before. As a result of the exciting renewal of the spirit of our armed forces, over the past 8 months, new enlistments have surged to record highs. For the first time on record in 2025, the Navy, Air Force, and Space Force all met or surpassed their recruiting goals 3 months early. And the Army did it 4 months early. But we're now at 106% of our recruiting targets for the year. And for the Marines, morale is so strong that the Marine Corps will meet its 2026 retention targets before the end of October. And that's the earliest it's ever happened in the history of our country. But as leaders, our commitment to every patriot who put on the uniform is to ensure that American military remains the most lethal and dominant on the planet, not merely for a few years, but for the decades and generations to come, for centuries. We must be so strong that no nation will dare challenge us, so powerful that no enemy will dare threaten us, and so capable that no adversary can even think about beating us. But our people deserve nothing less than the very best. And one of the biggest cases that we won was the decision of the United States Supreme Court to allow us to proceed on the word merit. We're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability, character, and strength. And that's because the purposes of American military is not to protect anyone's feelings. It's to protect our republic. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American freedom, and we will be a fighting and winning machine. But very importantly, with that goal in mind, I've committed to spending over $1 trillion on our military in 2026. Every branch is seeing major investments, and as I announced in the Oval Office in March, we are rapidly moving forward with the first ever 6th generation fighter jet. We're investing tens of billions of dollars in modernizing our nuclear deterrence capabilities like never before. And we've begun construction on what we call the Golden Dome missile defense shield. Under my budget, we will be expanding the U.S. Navy by at least 19 ships next year, including submarines, destroyers, assault ships, and more. But on top of all this, we'll deliver a hard-earned pay raise of 3.8% to every soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, Space Guardman. And not only are we rebuilding our great strength, but for the first time in years, my administration is actually using that strength to defend the core and vital interests of America. And very simply, we are putting America first. But together with many of you in the room, we've brought back the fundamental principle that defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, With your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. But I want to salute every service member who has helped us carry out this critical mission. Last month, I signed an executive order to provide training for a quick reaction force that can help quell civil disturbances. But these service members are following in a great and storied military tradition, from protecting frontier communities to chasing outlaws and bandits in the Wild West. And our history is filled with military heroes who took on all enemies, foreign and domestic. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Grover Cleveland, George Bush, and others all used the armed forces to keep domestic order and peace. So today I want to thank every service member, from general to private, who has bravely helped us secure the nation's capital and make America safe for the American people. Together with the leaders here today, we're also restoring a needed focus on defeating threats in the Western Hemisphere. Throughout this region, cartel terrorists have been allowed to wage a relentless campaign of death and destruction on our country. But under our leadership, the military is now the knife's edge in combating this sinister enemy. We have to put the traffickers and cartels on notice. And as president, I will never hesitate to defend our people from threats of violence, from the horrible plague that's taking place from within. That's what military power can achieve. And as a result of these actions and many others since my inauguration, we're witnessing the triumphant return of peace through strength. A year ago, we were a dead country, but that's paving the way for progress once thought almost impossible. Yesterday at the White House, we put forward a plan for peace in Gaza, and we're striving tirelessly to end the terrible war in Ukraine. And as you know, we're also working hard to get the allies to share more of the burden of our defense. We're now selling large quantities of American-made weapons to NATO, and it's my hope that from Europe to Asia to the Middle East, our allies will make similar commitments to increase their military capabilities. And this will greatly strengthen our alliances, and also it will make war far less likely. It'll also help the United States rapidly rebuild our defense industrial base. Each of you can play an important part in getting allies to do their part. So to that end, Secretary Hegseth will soon be announcing major reforms to streamline military acquisitions and expedite foreign military sales. In the coming months, we'll be making even more historic announcements to fully embrace the identity of the Department of War. If we are as ruthless and relentless as our enemies, the United States Armed Forces will be totally unmatched in the future. From Sparta to Rome, to the British Empire, to the United States of America, history has shown that military supremacy has never been simply a matter of money or manpower. At the end of the day, it is the culture, spirit of our military that truly sets us apart from any other nation. Our ultimate strength will always come from the fierce people, and those brilliant people with such pride, and the unbending will and the traditions of excellence that have made us the most unstoppable force ever to walk the face of the earth. The men and women in this room inherit the legacy built and won by Washington and Jackson, Grant and Pershing, Eisenhower and Patton, Nimitz and LeMay. We carry forward the majestic military heritage passed down from father to son, soldier to soldier, and one generation of warriors to the next. From Concord Bridge to Fort McHenry, from Gettysburg to Manila Bay, from Normandy to Sicily, and from the jungles of Vietnam to the dusty streets of Baghdad, America's military has charged into hellfire, climbed up jagged mountains, crossed roaring oceans, and thundered across open deserts to defend our flag, our freedom, and our homeland. Now we are discovering American muscle, reasserting American might, and beginning the next story chapter in American military legends and lore. When it comes to defending our way of life, nothing will slow us, no enemy will stop us, and no adversary will stand in our way, because we are the United States military, the best, the boldest, the bravest that the world has ever seen, that the world has ever known. With leaders like we have right here in this beautiful room today, we will vanquish every danger and crush every threat to our freedom in every generation to come, because we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. I want to just thank you once again, and God bless the United States military, and God bless America. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.